Spectre is a sound shaping tool which combines the best features of a boosting parametric equaliser coupled with a multiband enhancer. It applies distortion to the difference between the dry and EQ'd signals and mixes that back in with the original audio. That makes it a very selective saturation effect, which is amazingly flexible and useful. How it works is the EQ's boost only, and Spectre applies distortion to the boosted region, so the area under the EQ curve, and mixes that back in with the dry signal. Because of this, you can generate harmonically related saturation, which is targeted on a very specific area of the audio spectrum. To show you what I mean, see how this sine wave gets additional harmonics introduced as I change the colour setting. The drive setting increases the level of those harmonics, but this distortion's only being applied to the area being boosted. If I mix it back in with the original audio, I can add harmonics generated from the area targeted by the boosting EQ. These harmonics will extend above that EQ'd region to some extent. For example, this sine wave will be much easier to hear on a laptop or phone. Now it has extra harmonics above 100 Hz. That would work in exactly the same way for a bass line or a kick drum. This example used Spectre in a mastering type of application, with a single instance across a stereo mix. Here, I've got a track and it's a bit thin, so I want to beef up the kick drum a bit. I use tape, as it's best used low down. It introduces a nice pillowy bottom end. If we compare against clean, we can hear how much more Spectre brings to the sound compared to an ordinary EQ boost. This is only 3 dB, but it sounds like more. On the bass guitar, using tube introduces a soft clipping distortion. Rather than boosting the fundamental, adding energy around 160 Hz brings body without getting in the way of the kick. Solid brings out the transient in the snare while thinning out the snare, kick and the bottom end of the guitars. Processing just the mid-channel helps exclude the guitars. Here's the difference compared to processing in stereo. Mixing between wet and dry, you can adjust to taste. By processing the top end quite hard, but only the sides channel, this mix gets more open without getting harsh. Because the guitars are panned wide, but the snare's at the centre, hear how the snare's affected less than the guitars. Using diode, which is similar to tube but with less high frequency content, this wide mid-range push adds thickness to the guitars, changing the balance from the drums towards the guitars. And that's just in stereo. Just think what you could do on a multi-track with this. As you can see, Spectre's far more flexible than a conventional EQ.